10 Minutes to Joy is your weekly invitation to reset, recharge, and rediscover your most joyful self through aha moments and simple energy techniques. You're listening to holistic psychotherapist Sylvia Plester-Silk. I've worked with individuals, couples, and groups from parole officer to private practice. I've learned many lessons and I'm ready to share. Today, I'm talking about one of the things that steals joy instead of brings joy into our life, and that we have the ability to shift and change. I don't know if you've ever heard of the phrase energy vampire. Oftentimes, we would call them narcissists. And there's different levels of narcissists or types of narcissist. And today I'm kind of thinking and reflecting back on my trek to Machu Picchu with a recognition and a realization that the individual that I traveled with there is a covert narcissist. Yes, it's taken me a little while to figure this out, a mere 6 years. However, what I'm realizing is this individual not only fed off my energy while we were away on the trek to Machu Picchu, but has been feeding off my energy without my awareness since. So fortunately, I know people that can pick up things when I am so close to it, I can't see it, the forest for the trees. And these individuals and professionals help me to release and let go of these soul agreements, vows, attachments, however we want to talk about it. Today, I want to talk a little bit about how do you release it and just talk about maybe 3 different potential ways that if you feel like someone's attaching to your energy or draining your energy, and this may be someone really close to you in your life, a family member, or maybe somebody like me that was in your life for a season and has left. And these vampires, as we call them, may not, um, sometimes I don't think they're aware that they're depleted in their own energy field and relying on other people's energy to feed them and to cause them to feel full and complete and so on. Sometimes this can happen when somebody is jealous of another person, that they will attach to their energy field and sort of siphon off energy, if you will, so that they can feel whole and complete within themselves. They're often feeling empty, like they can't fill themselves up. And you know these people, if you're in relationship to them, you can never do enough for them. They're always wanting more. And a covert narcissist does this in a little bit different way. They often shroud their behavior in what looks to be really pleasant, really positive, almost endearing kind of energy, and then slowly are pulling away. So this person, when I first met her and when I was first going to see her as a client, I thought she was dynamic. She was beautiful and she was just so capable. So I got sucked in, and maybe another time I'll do a little video on our podcast on discernment. But today I want to just talk about releasing those binds of people who are attaching to us. And they can attach to us in different ways. Sometimes it's a simple cord, and we can just ask Archangel Michael, if you're into angels, to come and release any connections and cords with X individual for now and for all times, in all dimensions, timelines, and universes. I declare that done now, so be it, or very similar words. You can ask the violet, invoke what I call the violet flame, which is a really beautiful way of clearing energy in a house. But you can also invoke the violet flame to burn up any vows or agreements with another person. Sometimes those are a little bit different than cords, where perhaps in this lifetime and perhaps in a different lifetime, we've made an agreement or we have patterns where we attach ourselves to those kinds of people in a specific type of person that feeds off of us. And we, again, often doing this unknowingly. It's beyond our conscious awareness. And so let's say that Bob is bugging you and he drains your energy every time you're near Bob. You can just ask the divine energy or the angels, or you can ask the violet flame to come and release and transmute any energy or attachment that Bob has with me, again, in any timelines, any universes, and any dimensions. So it's all encompassing. And again, the so be it can be really helpful. It's just like a declaration. And when you're making these declarations, you want to make them from a place of personal power, not from a place of feeling really depleted or making a request like, please come do this for me. You want to say, I ask, I request, I call in Archangel Michael. I call in the divine. I call in the violet flame. I call in my energy guides, my energetic guides to assist me to break. You can also do a fire ceremony where you place their name in a fire. Generally, this is done. You want to put some kind of stone, like a rose quartz or something like that, in with it so that and the intention is not to send them off to unpleasant or suffering, but to send them to the light so that they may get the learning, the understanding that they don't have about themselves. So it's really done in a harm done to none kind of energy. It's just, I'm not willing to have this agreement with you anymore. I'm breaking up with you energetically. Another way of really breaking it is just becoming aware of it and surrounding your body with the brightest, most beautiful light, calling in your higher self or your highest self, some people call it, and asking your higher self to just bring in this beautiful energy, this pure energy, and filling up your body, and then sort of pushing from this outside energy and pushing off that energy. And you're going to want to do that one, bringing it out so that your energy field is probably about 9 feet out from you. And and now I'm just getting a sense that you're going to want to clean the outer side of that, send it up to the light to be transmuted into divine love and to be regenerated into an energy that can be helpful. So when we do these things, we want to make sure that we are eating well, we are getting lots of water, that we can get rest because we may feel tired. Sometimes these things are tricky. Certainly for me, in this indication of the person that I went away to Peru with in 2019, I needed help to release it. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's giving yourself permission to ask for help and get it. And sometimes we can simply release it by setting energetic boundaries and then setting the boundaries in our lives. So if it's poor old Bob again, we can make choices about how much we help Bob or we don't help Bob. Are we around Bob socially or are we not? And under what conditions we'll do that. So we start, instead of trying to please everybody or look after everybody else, how do we look after ourselves and be in relationship with that person? And sometimes it will come to and not be in relationship to that person. We may set such a boundary that we will not be in their presence because we know That's almost like inviting them back in as an energy vampire. So, I've talked about some different stuff today that we don't normally talk about on the podcast. And I think it's really important, especially as we're coming up to the festive season. Oftentimes, we're around family, and there's not always everybody in the family that you really, really want to spend a lot of time with. So, how can you be in choice this year? How can you cut some of those cords or agreements before you go so that you can have a more free and less tiring experience during your festive season, whatever you celebrate? That's all for today, folks. Remember, your past doesn't define your future. You get to choose. You get to set those boundaries. You get to release the energies that are not working for you and are not supporting you. So keep moving forward, and we'll be back next Friday. Have a wonderful week.